Dreaming of owning a property in a prime location with great proximity and fantastic neighborhood? EJ Investments Sanyang Seaview Estate is the best choice you have been waiting for. Our Sanyang Seaview Estate is approximately 15 minutes drive away from the busy hub of Bureaucracy roundabout and into the heart of nature, where you can have a peaceful and relaxed lifestyle with your family. You can buy a finished 4-bedroom story with 5-year flexible payment plan or a service plot with 2-year payment plan option. With over 300 homes, you will enjoy big tar roads with covered drainage, modern electrification with solar street lights, gated entrance with security post, and a breath-catching experience of our beautiful sea view and lake view. You can own a home today at our Sanyang Seaview Estate. Call us today on 446-4838 or 325-9220. Visit our website on ejinvestments.net. EJ Investments, first in property.
All right.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baloo?
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 What is Baloo?
Baloo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baloo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baloo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baloo, better than sending money.
We welcome you to the Ministry of Tourism and Culture. My names are Mamadi Damfa. I'm the Deputy Permanent Secretary of this ministry. Thank you so much for coming, and we really appreciate your coming. Though it's a little bit early in the morning, but I think it's a very good turnout. Looking at the table, the number of, the quality of personnel present in this important inauguration of National Air Access Committee. As a country, I think it is very important and very pertinent to look for ways and means of having a National Air Access Committee that will spur or that would encourage potential partners and investors to access our airspace, so that as a country we can benefit from it in terms of employment creation and improvement of livelihoods in this country. As you may wish to recall, some few months ago, the Thomas Cook collapsed, which was never expected. But again, as a government, we took steps in ensuring that the tourism or the tourist season is not severely affected. Government decided, or government put in place strategic measures to ensure that even though Thomas Cook has collapsed, but there are other contingent measures that are put in place to ensure that tourists keeps on coming to the Gambia, and as a result, the season will not be affected seriously. The Honorable Minister here was able to convince his cabinet colleagues in the last cabinet meeting to have constituted an air access committee, which cabinet has already approved. That is why we are here this morning to inaugurate the National Air Access Committee. Around the table, we have veteran Alaji Basiru Jawara, who has been in the industry for quite a while. We have Sekti Nyang, the principal of IOTA. We also have
Sami Tami.
Sami
If you start
Tami.
naming names, you must name everybody.
Exactly. So we are very important. We have very important personnels around the table. We also have the Gambia Hotel Association as an important stakeholder, GT board, and we have our colleagues, our partners, I would say, members of the press. They are all here. You may wish to recall in 1998, African countries made a Yamoussoukro Declaration, in which there's the commitment to open skies for African countries. And as a government really want to reaffirm its commitment to ensure that there's air access for the Gambia. As a result, this important committee has been inaugurated. Here today we have, just as we all know, the president is on a tour, and the cabinet ministers are all busy, all the entire government machinery is on the move. Without wasting much ado, I would like to call on Mr. Sekti Jan Nyang to give us a brief remarks on these important inaugurations. Thank you.
Honourable Minister, distinguished personalities here present. Honourable Minister, thanks for giving me the opportunity to lead this discussion. A few months ago, or a month ago, I had a tete-a-tete with the Honourable Minister, talking about the situation on the ground in terms of air access, which has been mentioned in the master plan, which I coordinated many years ago. And it was key that we needed to address the situation. And I said to the Honourable Minister, I said, the Gambia is not short of experts in this area. And we should start from now on tapping local expertise. We appoint international consultants to come to this country. They tap the brains of the local experts and then copy and paste. And it is now time that we use local brains to develop our sector. We have veterans like Alaji Basiru Jawara, Sami Tamit, who has been in the industry for so long. They have involved themselves in the airline business, but due to lack of support, they just held back. Now that we have a government that is committed in reviewing the area of air access, we have the local expertise here, Mr. Cham, who is the director of GIA, we have the Director General of Regulation, and Mr. Bunanjai, Adam Abba, who are all committed in seeing the development of the tourism sector. And we do hope and pray that whatever recommendations that we make in this exercise would be taken seriously. We have commitment of the development partners who are willing to assist us based on the situation of the country. Tourism is the backbone of this country, and we should ensure that we take the bull by the horn and try by all means possible and move away from package tours. We have been too dependent on package tours, putting our eggs in one basket, and I think it's now time that we have local investment, local expertise to ensure that we put our money where our mouth is. We have committed hoteliers who are willing to invest in this exercise. The Minister of Finance is willing to invest in this exercise. The international community is willing to invest in this exercise. I think it's now time that we wake up and ensure that we put up a good document and paper that would receive the necessary funding that we need to move this agenda forward. Once more, I thank you for accepting the invitation, and we do hope and pray that we do our work as soon as possible and ensure that we have the maximum out of it in the shortest possible time. Once again, thank you very much for having me.
The problem of the tourists in this country is a long-time problem. I'm the first Gambian to put a hotel. When I see in Kenya, what the Kenyans they do, the tourism, then I have money. I come to my country and meet the tourism staff. Then I bought 3 hotels. Adonis Hotel. Next year, one beach. 2 years later, Fajara. I'm the first Gambians who own the hotel. And a lot of my receptionists, my cashiers, barkeepers, today, a lot of them, they are on the hotel. But the tourists in the country, the government must involve. And the government must not only take to put And since starting of this country, government doesn't put anything. They are taking. That cannot carry on. And we have serious problem at the moment. When 65% of the tourism in the world, you go bankrupt. So we starting. Today, we have only 3 tour operators in the country. Years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we have 15 tour operators. Nobody looking for 4-star, nobody looking for 3-star, they're all looking for bay. And that time the price, and today, not the same. Was that time 35 pounds, 50 pounds, 40 pounds. I'm working with it, Thompson for 19 years in Warner Beach. 19 good years. And they come in with 4, 5, 6 planes a week. So if the idea now, say we do the tour operating, very difficult. It costs money. You have to sign one plane for 6 months, £1 million before they answer. I do that before. I do the tour operating. I have lancing in London. I have lancing in Germany. I have lancing in Finland. I joined with this man, Mr. Mane, in Finland 13 years ago. We have lancing to bring tourists in this country. And still those lancing, they exist. We put plane from Russia and Finland, Gothenburg, Helsinki, Bangalore. We're trying to do that. And I bought 2 planes, one in South Africa, one in America, to promote this thing. Before I'm in the English plane by seat, I do that 3 years, and I succeed. So today, the government must look. The last government, he ruined the tourism. He captured Atlantic Hotel, captured Pangrove, captured Warner Beach. For 22 years. The day is captured Warner Beach, it was 3 planes. The coup d'etat on what that time, when the coup d'etat happened, 3 planes fly to come to Warner Beach that day. The coup d'etat happened, they fly, go back to Spain. Since then, 22 years, no tourists inside Warner Beach. It was a political hotel by force. And sometimes we put 3,000 people on 500, 3,000 people. And the people protected people. So hotel go down 22 years. No tourists, no ownership. The big hotel, Atlantic Hotel, go down also because of politics. Then sewing and the others, they are also go down because of the politics, government politics. Today, those 2 hotels, sewing and there, no ownership. Because Social Security buy the plane, they say, through the president of the country. through one mafia in Europe. They take it to hotel. The price of the hotel, you, the minister, have to find out what they give to the European man. Even my 4-bedroom hotel, 4-bedroom house, I cannot give that price which they give to the hotel. 4-bedroom house. Find out. Get that price. Where these people they inside now. Not even 4-bedroom house I can get to the American next one. They give whole hotel. That manager of the hotel can sell anything because hotel is for nothing. Presently now the two hotels find out. You know, get ownership. Who get it? Social Security, receivership, or who? Yaya Yame, or the money of the Europe. So the government must the price first of all. You must handle the price. Today, no price in the country, and also everybody when you go into the water and you want to they give you enough we can hold. 5 pounds, 7 pounds, 10 pounds. How that can be? What do you hotel? You see, what this people come to the hotel. How much they offer you?
17
euro. Not even Belfast.
Colleagues, Uncle Basiru, the going says, I think today you've said it all as it is. But then again, we are very happy to be part of this Air Access Working Group. I think this is something that it's overdue. Thanks to the collapse of Thomas Cook, we would not have been sitting down here thinking what we should have done probably a couple of years ago. Thank you to this new government also for opening up these opportunities and creating a level playing field in the tourism industry. We all know that it is important and very vital to get air access to make any destination for that matter prosper. And this is what we have been lacking. Again, we need to be free of tour operator dependency, like Mr. Setijan said earlier on. It is high time that we now look at other avenues, other markets, continuity, to create all year round jobs, to ensure that people are employed, to ensure that also that there is enough revenue that government is collecting from this sector. But notwithstanding, and I will say it again, like Mr. Basiru, Uncle Basiru said, government needs to invest in tourism. It's a fact. And I think this is the right step, the right direction that we are taking. And I hope and pray that this working committee, when it's finally inaugurated and working, that we should be focused on timelines and specifics. We should be talking the same language because this destination belongs to all of us. It's not a one-man show. If Gambian tourism prospers, I think the country will prosper as well. It is creating 18% of the GDP, and I think we could do far more better than that. Honorable Minister, I thank you very much. I know it's a very short and pressing day today since you have to be on the way soon. But I just want to say, on behalf of the tourism fraternity and the Gambia Hotel Association, thank you for getting us on board this important committee. Thank you.
Thank you. As we discussed before, the national airlines is very important for the country. As now, Mr. Buna said, the Thomas Cook is collapsed. We have now short of 8 to 10 flights weekly, which is really reducing the capacity of passengers coming. So this is the time we can do, the national airlines cooperate with the government, with the private sector, and we can really increase our capacity of tourism and help also the Gambian coming from abroad with low fare. Because as you know now, some of the tour operators is having extra flight, but the price he's gone high in the sky. It's from 200 pound now to 700 pound. I don't want to mention the name of the tour operator, but I already know.
Don't mention that.
So this is really, with Mr. Bashir Jawara, I have the experience in this, and I have a little bit of this. So we can sit down together and we try to establish the way how we can arrange for the national airlines with 2 or 3 aircraft with routing to UK and Europe, and I think also to the region, to Freetown, to Senegal, to Liberia, and extra.
Thank you.
So I'm ready to help in any way.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Barrow, for the trust and confidence you had in this entire committee to come up with the national air access that will support the Gambia, not Gambia tourism, but the entire economy. We know how much of our economy depends on tourism. And we know the biggest challenge this industry has right now is air access. And to that to come into remedy, and your government is thinking loudly on that initiative, we wish to thank you very, very much for those initiatives. And for the committee, I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel. We have so many experts. We have people who have owned and operated airlines before. We have people who are working in the hotel industry and knows what is needed to fill up their hotels. We have the likes of Jaye, who's now running the portfolio of our national carrier. So this committee should not be even sitting for that long. We can sort the number of sittings and come up with the required documentation that will be the government policy to prepare the next level, that is the strategy of how to execute that policy. I think it doesn't look that complicated. It's a very simple task. It has been done before. Documentations are around. We need no reinvent the wheel. What we need to do is to collate all the information that we have, put it into one single document, and advise the government the direction that they need to take for us to have an air access to this country. The financial modeling and how it comes, we have financial experts within us. We have done international financing, we have seek financing all over the world, and I think that will support us. And I don't want to name names for now. But when the committee sits to discuss, let's discuss this in a very strategic and robust way. We bring all the documents that we have already prepared for Gambia air access, collate it, and within the shortest possible time, deliver this document to government for onward implementation. I thank you once again, and I thank everybody for coming and for the trust you have on us to stay at the Gambia National Air Access the way forward. Thank you.
We believe in our civil service, we believe in our civil servants and all that. But what I've come to learn in government, for the little time I've spent, not when I was a teacher, but when I was at a higher level, the level of inaction is killing the spirit of people who come from the private sector. Really, when you work in government, coming from where I came from, sometimes you just want to pack up and go home and just leave the job. You understand? Because level of inaction, the way it's done, can never move forward. We need to change. And the only way we can change this is to engage the people to lead the process and we become separate. Put them up front, let them lead, and then you remain at the back. Anyone that wants to go off the track route, you bring that particular cow back to the track route. I think that's the only way we can really come forward. And that's why when we are constituting this committee, we look at people who are, we had a lot of people, over 200 people to choose from. But we said that really, we should be, because we don't want a huge committee also that would certainly also be bogged with a lot of ideas and argument that we will never reach an understanding. We felt that really, we should get men and women of caliber who can easily sit down, disagree, to agree, and come out with something as quickly as possible. Because time is not waiting for us. The sympathy we're earning from our international development partners will fade off if we don't act at this opportune moment. And that's why I couldn't wait to inaugurate this committee, even on the day of departure. All my colleagues are at the port, waiting to receive the president. But I felt because of time factor, the international committee will not wait for us, for them to come on board to support us. If we delay this thing for another 3 weeks before we inaugurate the committee, it takes 2 weeks to deliver. I felt today was the day that we need to do it. Now, as Mr. Bashiru have said, we have to learn. Buna made something very interesting, and I said so. sometimes you only know your situation when you are in difficulties. When you are in difficulties, you innovate, you come with ideas. When Libya was sanctioned by the international community, they were deprived from milk. Even their children, babies, were refused milk. Gaddafi came to Gambia, many countries bought cows, took them to Libya. In 2 years, they were exporting milk out of Libya all over the world. Why? Because they were sanctions and they were punished for it. And we've seen what happened in Mauritius, in other countries. Today, they all have their national carriers which are flying in tourists. I came on a flight 2 days ago. I saw a Senegalese top high-ranking personnel who was supposed to fly Air France. He has to stop doing a train from Brussels to Paris just to fly Air Senegal. He said, I'm supporting our national carrier. And I saw the plane was packed full. So these are the mentalities we need to really take on board. We need to own ourselves and know what we own, what belongs to us. And we are proud of it. We don't have one single aircraft using our flag flying. And GIA are there it's a new GIA with a new dynamism, not the GIA that would loan you ticket that you will never pay, that bordered with corruption and all the favoritism and nepotism. That's not the GIA that we have now. But I don't want to also preempt the committee. But what I'm saying is, I think today we have men and women who are prepared, who are ready, who are willing to serve. And with the experience of the people that we have, I think we can put up something. I was talking to my colleague in Seychelles last year. He said, the Chinese market, yes, we could bring 300, 500 Chinese tourists to the Gambia. I had a meeting with the Chinese ambassador last time. He said, but how do we bring them? Like we said, Brussels? They said, no, they don't want Brussels. They want Morocco, stop over in Morocco and fly to Gambia. But do we have the expertise, the tour operators in the Gambia on the ground owned by Gambians to manage that? They have the expertise, but the companies are not there. And then I talked to my colleague in Seychelles. He said, I lifted 15,000 tourists this year from China by using our national airline. We don't have one. And then, of course, you go to Kenya. Today, rooms are full, not because they don't rely on any other tour operator or anybody. They rely on their national carrier to bring tourists. When I was coming a few days ago, there were so many tourists going to Casamas on board the Air Senegal flight. Going to Casamas. You know, so we need to look inwards now because of this crisis. Thank God that government knew the crisis was coming. We acted and we thank you so much. We thank all those, we saw what the ministry did at the time, get all together with all the ideas that were collated, with all the effort that we are invested in. We want this process to yield to something and to make sure that we get to somewhere that you can sell your hotel without being under duress. You can decide the price of your room and then decide who you sell it to. So we are not fighting anybody. We just want to create competition. I think that message also is clear. We are not against anyone. We are not fighting anybody. Everybody is a partner with. We want to partner with anyone, but we want also to own our freedom and own our industry and decide how we manage our industry. Because this industry today has become the fastest growing sector of the world economy. And that you cannot do without it. Every country has gone into tourism because it's the only one that with or without rain, when you have it, you are guaranteed to pay your civil servants. You are guaranteed to exist as a nation. Therefore, I think we should really put up the issue of bureaucracy and get people on board and we move forward and get this thing on. And I think really, having heard from all what you have said, I think sooner or later we will get there. And that's why I wanted to get the finance peer, but he was coming, I think he's got to another State House meeting because there are some useful information that the committee need to share internally, and also other stakeholders that during the course of my tour I met, and I think they are also willing to come on board to look at what they can do with you. Yesterday they signed 10 aircraft to Lufthansa, and I think they are willing to come and, upon your invitation, to discuss with you, open freedom. We don't want to be involved in it. It's your, so do it the way you think it should happen and give us the advice. And the next thing would be, how do we get the funds and all that? Those issues, we cannot go into the details of it because when you are dealing with partners, there are issues you cannot really, go up. Let's just make sure that the committee knows it and the committee knows what we need to do and how we get over these things. So we will need the cooperation of everybody. That's why we included the Permanent Secretary Ministry of Works We included the Permanent Secretary Ministry of Finance because they deal with this international financial institution, and also the Permanent Secretary Ministry of Tourism. We didn't want it to be, and of course, Secretary General's office under the policy analyst. But today, everybody is on this tour. We must understand. But also, one thing I want to also clear that Mr. Haider has been appointed to chair this committee. And that by that, Mr. Chairman, you are also responsible of the logistics to make sure that this committee meets, and the logistics and anything they want to do, work it out, see how internally within your ability, how you can make it work, and then facilitate, do everything possible. I have no doubt that the committee meets regularly and all the logistics are taken care of, and then people should be able to, within a short space of time, deliver a report that we can show to the stakeholders, that we can also go back to cabinet. And if you know that, how serious the president about this, all the concern you raised, you requested for him to approve, were immediately approved and sent back to you. I think we must commend the government for that. Everything that you asked for was approved by the government, just to make sure that we get out of the situation. We try to own ourselves and know that this is our country. Nobody will do it for us. If we miss these experienced people, it will take us for a long time again to get another brand of people like this to be able to do it. I think this is the opportunity for us to make sure that we move forward and move our country and make sure that we get our industry in our hands. Because as long as you don't have a national carrier, your economy suffers. The service industry. Today, Dubai, 37% of the Dubai economy runs around Emirates Airline. These are fact, statistic figures. 37% of the entire economy of Dubai is just around Emirates Airline. So if people don't have access to come to your country, where are you? If you can fly from Brussels to Rabat for €100, you can fly cheapest flights, long destination, long haul destination. Why can't this committee find out how they were able to make it? What can we do? What can we decide? Who can we partner to make sure we get it happen? Not only for tourists, but Gambians wanting to come to the Gambia. They suffer a lot. They don't have means of even coming to this country. Some of them have to go to another country before they even reach their country. So I think these are things that we need to find a way how we can make it affordable, available, and sustainable. Once we have that, I think then we are there. So ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much. We thank you so much, particularly our two veterans. Early time this morning, Mr. Basiru and Mr. Sami, to be honest with you, we need to thank them. He lost $7 million a couple of years ago on one operation in trying to get an airline. $7 million he lost. That I'm aware of, Mr. Jawara himself, that he invested in this. And I know also what Sami lost, $2 million. I know that these people have been involved in this. They cannot do this. This is an issue for government. Government must take the lead, but the decision how to make it, how it should be done, must come from those who are going to make it work. So that this government bureaucracy does not come to entangle some of the things that we really need to get done. So on this note, I thank you so much, and I seek for your prayers and guidance at all time, and I hope that this committee will very soon present this report, and it will be put before cabinet for decision to be taken as in the best interest of our country. Thank you. Dollars last time, Samitami lost $2 million. I know how much these people have lost in this industry. So the only way today we can do what's happening to Kenya, bringing their own tourists, what happening to Senegal, what happening to Mauritius, what happened to Seychelles, all these countries have their national carrier. I just gave them an example yesterday when I was coming. A top Senegalese civil servant was coming back. He refused to join Air France or Brussels Airline. He traveled by train to Paris just to board Senegal Airline. Senegal Airline was packed full with tourists going to Casamance and Senegalese citizens. We cannot get tourists and determine the price as long as somebody brings them to us. So the only way we can get it done is to make sure that we now have our own means of bringing our tourists, building our hotel, managing it, and then compete with others. Even our tax policy we cannot determine. When you want to put any tax, next day they threaten you with strike or abandoning your country. And then you don't have a choice. So really, and government have gone extra. Even with the issue of visa, we're going to lose 40 million. But we believe that the number of tourists turnover we will get, we will harvest more than 80 million if we can have that. Because the way tourists are booking holidays have changed now. Now you go to an airport, you sit there, look at the screen, They said there is a holiday for Miami for 300 pounds. Go and pay immediately in 2 minutes, go and book. You expect that man to go and look for a visa to come to your country? You will never get the tourist. So those who don't argue, who don't understand the dynamics of our industry, will now tell you that this visa at 10 pounds is important. But if you can bring 300, 400,000 tourists compared to 100,000 tourists, the difference of visa will not be something for you as a concern. So these are all the dynamics that people don't understand in the industry. That's why Thomas Cook also suffered. Because the marketing strategy have changed, system have changed, methods have changed, and people have changed. So now we believe you are the people with the knowledge and experience. We've only have 3 government civil servants in this committee. That's the Permanent Secretary Finance, Works, and Tourism. The rest are all businessmen and women who have suffered it, who feels it, who knows it better. And that's why we felt that really, we should really make sure that we give them a timeline as to how you people can come out a document and tell us what we should do, what should be done. And then we move, from there we move forward and we get it done. Then we can own our country. Then we can be proud to say our tourism industry is guaranteed. But when you are on one person's hand, you have nothing to be proud of. Be rest assured that you cannot raise your hand to say, I am this, because somebody can cut your throat immediately and you are done. I think basically this is the whole thing.
Honorable Minister, I think we all have suffered from this impact of the Thomas Cook, and it was like a nightmare to come up with a crisis response mechanism to resolve this thing. Hopefully, things are improving, but we are still not out of the woods, as the threats are still there. And we need to come up with a more comprehensive approach. I believe we will not be starting from scratch. There are partners who are willing to help in the process, as well as countries who have also been through this kind of problem and have come out of it very well. So we can learn from those experiences as well. Just to assure you that the Ministry of Finance is also concerned, because the impact the sector could play in the economy is downplayed because the full potential is not yet exploited. And we will want to reach a level where the full potential of the sector is unleashed so that the benefits go to the population. So we will be more than happy to help in whatever little way we can to move this process. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dreaming of owning a property in a prime location with great proximity and fantastic neighborhood? EJ Investments Sanyang Seaview Estate is the best choice you have been waiting for. Our Sanyang Seaview Estate is approximately 15 minutes drive away from the busy hub of Bureaucracy roundabout and into the heart of nature, where you can have a peaceful and relaxed lifestyle with your family. You can buy a finished 4-bedroom story with 5-year flexible payment plan or a service plot with 2-year payment plan option. With over 300 homes, you will enjoy big tar roads with covered drainage, modern electrification with solar street lights, gated entrance with security post, and a breath-catching experience of our beautiful sea view and lake view. You can own a home today at our Sanyang Seaview Estate. Call us today on 446-4838 or 325-9220. Visit our website on ejinvestments.net. EJ Investments, first in property.
All right.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him. Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baloo?
Baloo?
What is Baloo? Baloo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baloo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baloo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baloo, better than sending money.